Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland's Rapid Fire, episode 20. I haven't done one of these in a bit. Last one I did actually, I think was about a week or two ago when I talked about Hogan's possible return, and I still don't care. Firstly, I'm going to talk about some Impact Wrestling, hence why I got the TNA since 2002 shirt on. But I'm going to talk about a little bit more about Lana getting a title shot against Naomi. They have all the women in the Money in the Bank ladder match already. They have a bunch, they have the split rosters and stuff like that. They can't call up any women that really aren't ready on NXT. I mean, if Ember Moon hadn't gotten injured, Asuka might have been called up and she could have, kicked Naomi's head off, which probably would have happened. I'm not saying it should have happened. You could have get a program out of that, but with Ember Moon's injury, Asuka's now in NXT. So they had Lana re-debut, which, was probably going to be the case anyway. They originally, I guess, were going to slot Eva Marie there, but they're not going to renew her contract because the heavens have opened, and thank God Eva Marie is just, not going to be allowed near a wrestling ring ever. She was dog shit in the ring. Not a dog shit person, she was dog shit in the ring. Do I think that Lana can beat Naomi? It's not so much do I think can she beat Naomi, I think she will. I think they're going to have her beat Naomi. They haven't booked Naomi at all well since winning at Mania 33. She didn't even have a title match on the Backlash pay-per-view. Which, granted, because of split brand pay-per-views and because of the fact that SmackDown had to wait till May to have a show, I get it, but Naomi is capable of having some good matches. They really need to capitalize on this stuff. Lana, if Lana were to win, they could only save it by having a cash in by somebody. I would have Natty win the briefcase and cash in. But personally, the only way they really can salvage it, Naomi wins. You want to do a cash-in, fine. Otherwise, Naomi can be looking over her shoulder. Because Lana winning the title really, really is going to be kind of a slap in the face of a lot of the hard-working women. I'm not saying Lana hasn't worked hard. Maybe Lana can be at least decent in the ring. But this is going to be her first singles match on TV. Having her win the title is not exactly a great idea. Now moving on to the reports that Impact Wrestling brass may have paid fans in attendance at the India shows. Well, it was shot at one of those studios for Sony 6 that tapes a lot of TV shows there. And apparently, if you believe reports, Sony 6 paid people to react to certain things and, make the product seem all energetic and stuff like that, and everybody was all happy, and which is how it should be. It's like, that's what WCW did with MGM Studios, Disney MGM Studios. And I'm not saying they paid people, but they would try to get the proper reactions out of tourists, with the smaller venue, and make it where fans were like, hey, next time I'm there, I'm going to try to get into that. And India, I wouldn't have thought that India people would really need to be paid if they like wrestling that much. So, I'm certainly not. If Sony 6 does it, if that's their business strategy and it works for them, cool. Okay, fine. Now, if Impact Wrestling is proven to be the ones that have paid that paid the fans, that's not exactly a good thing. Just my opinion. It's not exactly a good look for them. Because India's a pretty good hotbed. They shouldn't have to pay fans over there, at least, to react. I know Impact Wrestling's a little bit down in the U.S., and by a little down, I mean very down, because they're still trying to rebrand and regrow, and hopefully they can. But right now, I don't believe that Impact Wrestling did pay the fans. Unless there's some other report I haven't read from today. Sony 6's business strategy is really none of my business. If it works for them, great. And Impact Wrestling, it was nice that they got over to India. It's a damn shame they couldn't shoot in a bit of a bigger venue, because that venue was really, really small. Really small. Like, it made the Impact Zone seem like the Superdome. But they got what they could get, and hopefully the India shows are a success. Hopefully Slammiversary 15 is a success, which I might possibly be getting if my cable company carries it. They didn't carry any of the Impact Wrestling pay-per-views the last couple of years because of business problems. With Impact Wrestling, So hopefully, maybe I can get a chance to watch that. I saw a little bit of the India shows. I appreciate the crowd's energy, but it's hard to watch any show where Josh Matthews does commentary. It's hard to, because the guy's awful. Hashtag fire Josh Matthews. Get somebody else in there that actually can do announcing properly. But anyway, I believe Sony 6 paid the fans and paid people to react. I don't believe Impact Wrestling did. Until I hear otherwise, I'm not going to blame Impact Wrestling. Jesse Goddard's. I hope I got that name right. Who was part of the Bromans and was basically discount Chris Masters. All due respect to the guy. The guy worked hard. The guy improved into a pretty decent performing heel. He's apparently left Impact Wrestling. I wasn't aware he was still on the roster. I thought he was released sometime last year. Hopefully, maybe he can make appearances in Ring of Honor. I don't know about Japan. I don't know how well he'd fit in with the Japan style. He could... NXT could sign him. Vince loves bodies. He could improve in the Performance Center. He certainly wasn't bad in the last couple years in the ring because he had improved pretty well. So he'll have opportunities if he still wants to do wrestling, or if he wants to get back in TV, hey, all the best to him. Never really had any problem with the guy. So, I mean, good for him. I mean, and hopefully the guy gets a chance to succeed. And whether it's in wrestling or in movies, whatever he does. Now, free agent running back D'Angelo Williams, who played on the Steelers. Look, I mean, he's going to apparently wrestle Slammiversary 15. Now, look, I'm not the biggest fan of putting current athletes from another sport in the ring. I wasn't really a fan of Lawrence Taylor being part of it, Mania 11. I sure as hell wasn't a fan of Impact Wrestling bringing in Pac-Man Jones, and that whole thing got, all turned into a fiasco because he couldn't be touched. Because even though he was suspended, I believe it was the Titans he was working for at the time, or, part of, they said, you can't be touched. Even though you're suspended, you're under contract to us. So, D'Angelo Williams is not signed to anybody, so, obviously that's not going to be an issue, but you have to wonder what the guy can actually do. I just don't know if I'm the biggest fan of it. Like, honestly, I don't really know if it's going to be a good thing. It's good puff for Impact Wrestling. Hopefully he says all the right things, and hopefully it's good publicity, and hopefully he goes out there and performs well. Just be better than Mongo McMichael is really all I ask, because Mongo McMichael was absolutely terrible. Be at least like Kevin Green in the ring. Kevin Green wasn't too bad and had some pretty good energy. He wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but he had pretty good energy. If D'Angelo can be like him and have that energy and show that passion and everything, and if he loves wrestling, great. I wish him the best. I'm not saying it's the biggest, it's the thing I'm the biggest fan of, but who knows? Maybe he'll do well. Maybe he won't. But there's only time will tell. But anyway, I gotta say, that's just about it. So, hey, Slammiversary 15's in a few weeks. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. But anyway, what do you guys think about all these topics I talked about? Like, share, comment, subscribe. My Twitter link is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. I will see you soon.